Coming in from the UK, Dr. John Campbell just produced a video about the mass fatality preparations. We've had set activities prior to this, but seems to be on a level never seen before, in my opinion. Mass fatality, you go to the type in English mass fatality planning, August 2025. You'll find tons of information on the preparation for morgues. Something is coming big time. Joint fatality management working groups meet. This comes from Air Force. Mortuary Affairs, 52 minutes ago, August 13th, it says. So it's August 13th is when this working group is called. The collaborative effort by multiple agencies to plan and respond to mass fatality incidents. This comes from www.mortality.af.mil, military. We have many different outlets coming out from the UK too. This is August 22nd. Fact Check Home Office had mass fatality plans. This comes from PA Media. The fact check Home Office has had mass fatality plans in place for decades. By August, blah blah blah, 2025. Yeah. So, NATO's actually doing this. They're planning for a mass fatality event. Why is the world's countries arming blaming Russia? Or are they going to war with Russia? Is this the time where the Russians are actually going to take the world to war? Or I wouldn't say the Russians take the world to war. They're trying to get somebody to do something. Now, is this economic, or is this something to do with, is this the collapse of the West? Is this where the West will not be able to succeed any longer with the lies for the rich men? Are the rich men just getting to your say, Flower, good to see you. Yeah, we had a 10,000 view show last night. Pretty crazy, Flower. So, anyway, this is from Summit, Utah, Southern Utah. Like Wile E. Coyote over here, and then this big-eyed friend of his over here, too. This was the spaceship that came on. This is a natural petroglyph, showing long-armed aliens. See the hand right there? Big arms on this thing. And the ship that's up there that comes down. There's actually kind of a circle, and then it shows these three things coming down, and then there's the big-eyed alien right there with the mouth and the nose. This is a petroglyph drawn probably, it might have been just a couple hundred years old. There was many other petroglyphs in the area. It's up Summit Canyon. Good to see you, Andrew. Yeah, so is this the 3i Atlas going to be the actual alien ship that they've been waiting for? How long have they known about this? Is this the big hoorah lie? They just put a balloon that flew over Utah. We got a picture of it last night. The entire state in Arizona was captivated by this balloon that left two big circles on the outside of it that was burning as hot as the sun. Are they priming us for an alien invasion? I guess we'll see. Remember, the Bible shows a lot of these nice little aliens. Some of them got one big eye right there. Going to be interesting what the aliens actually look like. I mean, the angels look like. But right now we have lights in the front of the 3i Atlas. There's some mysterious activity on the 3i Atlas, but it's going to dive behind the sun where we can't see it magically. So, are they receiving alien communication? Yes. Yes, they have mysterious radio signals coming in, constantly bombarding the Earth. We are not alone. They're answering us. But the big balloon stunt, I congratulate you DARPA monsters for doing your stupidity the old men taught you to do. Yeah, at first you don't succeed in lying to them, deceive. We're living in a mass deception time. That balloon came about was just to get you all ready for maybe a possible alien invasion, Project Bluebeam. Something much, much more nefarious. Imagine if the aliens come back and harvest humanity as fat as it is. The food, now you look at it, it gets you, isn't it amazing? But remember, fat is where all the life force is setting in. That's what your survival is, the fat. That's the battery of humans, the fat. Maybe they're coming to harvest out of the gold, never know. But we go back to the Comanche story. I don't think a lot of people understand where the ancient Aztecs ended up in Mexico and where they came from. I live in Aztec homeland. This is where they are from, Utah. Yeah. This is the Aztec Empire, everybody, prior to Mexico. Now, talking to the Guadalajara natives, they told me that the Aztec invaded twice. They beat them back once, they reproduced in the rocks, and came back and conquered the island of Mexico City. Because the Aztecs were from here. Now, why did they run? The Comancheria. The ancient Comanches talked about a story that they've been holding for 200, 300, 500 years that they didn't tell the white men about till recently. That the Comanche were once numerous throughout Utah, Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming, and all the way into Arizona. It was a giant Comanche-speaking Aztec dialect people. They fled south, north, east, and east. They didn't go west much, except Lake Tahoe. The majority of the Aztecian speakers encountered a weapon so deadly from something from above. Maybe from these guys. Yeah, all over eastern Utah you can see these. Not like this one. This one's cool. This is the Wile E. Coyote that's got his connectors going to the spaceship up there. I like the big-eyed one personally. The Comanches were a giant empire here in Utah. Pottery was fantastically designed, beauty that you could not imagine you could replicate today, but it was done by the hands of a master. Arrowheads chipped to the most finest perfection out of obsidian. I found many of these as a kid here. Interestingly, I gotta see what idiot just showed up in front of my house and made my dog bark. That's the UPS guy. I wish that people would just quit sending UPS sometimes. Anyway, the Comanches told the story finally to the world, and nobody cares. Isn't it an amazing thing? Nobody cares. The world doesn't care. Everybody, wake up. The Comanches said that there was a great illness or sickness, they called it. They didn't know what it was, but it contorted the bodies of the people. Their heads, their necks broke. They convulsed violently. Blood came out their eyes and their mouths, and then their necks snapped. Their limbs would twist and break. The arms and legs of all the ancient Aztecs, they fled in every direction. The chief of the Aztec Empire said, run. This is per the Comanche people. They said, run in every direction. Some go north, some go east, and some go south. The ones that went south conquered Mexico. The ones that went east became the Comanche. And the ones that went north became the Shoshones and the Uintas. What happened here? Well, you don't see this type of drawing, and this is hidden from you guys. You guys don't get to see this. You don't know where this is. It's not on any map. Along with the belts and the lines and these different, and the all-seeing eye, the eye they always draw on the drawing they say is actually supposed to be of a journey, but it's not. It's of a nebula. This is hidden in Utah. Yeah, they don't tell anybody. Oh, they don't. I told you where it's at. Summit, Utah. Yeah. Now it's actually up a canyon right there by a. You see a big gravel pit, a cinder pit, right there in Summit, Braffitt's Creek, they call it. Yeah. Aliens. Everybody see the ship? Are they preparing for a mass casualty event due to Russia, or is everybody just going to blow themselves up for fun? I mean, COVID's back and people are running around panicking, but nuclear war, get some, get some, get some, get some. The balloon stunt last night, that was good, guys. Gosh, keep the schmucks just feeding off lapping off the trough of infinite idiocy. I had to leave. Maintenance was in my kitchen. Well, I just showed a picture of a thing that we seen last night that turned out to be a balloon. Interesting. I'll show you. This thing was a balloon. Doesn't look like a balloon to me. I mean, balloons don't do that. That bright, too. It was the sun shining off at both sides, the back and the front. Come on, guys. There was a dead center. There was light and light. Maybe this side of the balloon was reflecting off of the sun that isn't there on that side. This side could be reflecting off the sun that was setting over here. This was at sunset. This thing can't get light from its ass. Bravo. Bravo. Bravo, I tell you. Mass casualty event. Oh, yeah, I said it was a balloon. That's what I would say. I'd say, it's a balloon, everybody. Here's the trajectory of this balloon. It was launched. And these guys, this has been going on for thousands of years here. The Comanche told the truth about some great weapon that was used or sickness used on the ancient Aztecs in Utah. And the reason why they went into Colorado and back up into Montana and Idaho, Wyoming, and the Utes went to the northeast corner of Utah to the Hyuinas. But they were all here. And the rest went into Mexico. They ran because something was used on them here. There was a weapon that was used on them here. Now, why did they use the weapon? All the gold. I would say it was for gold. They're harvesting humans. Could have been a great harvest of these creatures. They came down and visited. They seen the native tribes. Geronimo's father, dad was taken to his burial site per Geronimo's. His own journal said by the Watchers. Yeah, Geronimo wrote that. My dad was taken to his burial cave by the Watchers. Nothing to see, America. Ground Zero, Utah is the target, apparently. So far. People don't believe in it. Pretty good. Going to be up back on the mountain this weekend. Hopefully nothing happens. Hope we don't have another one of those events. I only have a bow for protection. You cannot carry a rifle or a pistol on an archery hunt. Yeah. It is. Flower's coming. But this is what the angels do, Flower. I mean, the Bible tells you about the angels. They're like creatures. They're beings. They're not a bunch of floating idiocies. They're living beings. They're weird. Very weird. So let's get into this. Home. Okay, Yahoo News UK. This comes from August 2025 at 8:50. Fact check. Home Office has mass plan. Okay, we'll go to this UK News, Yahoo. Shall we go to it? I got to accept all for Yahoo, apparently. Accept all, I don't even know. Kind of like reminds me of Netanyahu, doesn't it? Hi, Cookbook. Well, we got a problem, Cookbook. They're preparing for a mass casualty event. It's going to be nuclear war with Russia, or it's going to be another pandemic, or it's going to be an alien invasion. We got our choice. Hey, hi back. Fact check. Home Office has mass fatality plans in place for decades. Well, they have the misinformation, disinformation, false mis and disinformation, a threat to our democracy. If it was a democracy, 50% of America would not be in abject poverty with 2% of the wealth. It's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. So stop being stupid. Now, Yahoo, which is not to be confused with Netanyahu, by the way, or the Yahoo cows, or the red heifers, or anything to do with cowboys riding rope in the prairie yelling Yahoo in Texas, nothing to do with that. Or Yellowstone, for that matter, because the show Yellowstone was a lie. Yes, it was false. Rip has blonde hair, not black. And the girl that plays his wife or girlfriend, she's English. Isn't deception? Anyway, this is Utah. Welcome to Utah, everybody. With the space aliens holding hands and the big long arms and the great big eyes, and then they got these great big long arms, and here comes the Wile E. Coyote's antennas going back up to a spaceship up here that's sending signals back to these weird-looking beings. I guess the Coyote and the Roadrunner weren't just a pretend Acme, cartoon about, the Coyote getting smashed every 5 minutes. Wonder if this is why they call him the Trickster. Yeah. Maybe we got the Lakota reasoning behind the trickster. Could it be, everybody? Could it be? Could it be this is the answer to the trickster? Yeah, beautiful Utah. Gotta check it out. Thanks for being America's cornflake. Well, you just got your ass thrown out of here. So, yeah. Bye-bye, Maroon. Anyway, flower doesn't toil in the wind, everybody. Just remember that. Like the lilies of the field, they don't toil. Anyway, so here we go. And the guy that posted that is basically connected to Yahoo, connected to the system. Maybe he's a part of a group of idiots that go do stupid worshiping every weekend or week when they do their witchery garbage. There's a lot of that going on, or the agnostic people that don't believe in a God, but yet they use computer systems that are developed by a man that creates worlds. Looks like a lot of them are coming up. I'm not even seeing those. Good job there, Flower. I don't even know what they're even saying. Mass fatality, resilience, capability. Lot 2. Wow, this is another one. August 14, gov.uk. Gov.uk. Are they planning for a mass casualty event? Yes. Did they think they were going to have a mass casualty? Man, these guys are getting way whacked. I'm not even seeing these. Yeah, if they keep saying stuff, just you did the best you could do. They need to go bye-bye. They need to go bye-bye. They can go suck down the punch of lies like COVID, 2.0. And I'm not saying this is like COVID 2.0. I'm just saying they're preparing for a mass casualty event. This stuff's older than all the morons that are commenting stupid stuff. They've only been here for a few years. They don't know what life's even about. They get lies from the tablecloth of war by the war pigs, and they just ingest it. And then they comment on here some stupid thing from Asia, Africa, New York, wherever the hell these people are from. And then they think they know something because they grew up in a stupid ass city or in some brainwashed college. Maroons. Yeah. Flower's she's going to do what needs to be done. This is educational. You're not going to see this. Did you see this? Any of you? Have you ever seen this? Question to those of you that think you know what's happening here. Have you ever seen this ancient carving? It's not ancient. Yes, it is. Believe it or not, that stayed for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. That was chipped into the rock. Ting, 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 ting. Along with all the other ancient symbols up there. They came out to like 500 years old. Same with Parowan Gap. You gotta look up Parowan Gap. Parawan Gap. And all the aliens on that. How about all of Eastern Utah and the giant aliens there? So you, the world, don't understand. You don't know any of this stuff because they don't tell you. Why don't they tell you? Because you don't matter to them. Your opinions don't make a difference to them. Who are they? Those that know. They know what these creatures are. Having friendship with them is ridiculous. A little redundant. They're going to come harvest the earth. The native tribes of North America have been encountering all kinds of alien beings for thousands of years. They traveled on the land bridge. That just got debunked. Good luck with your theories. Good luck. Yeah. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Go look up Parawan Gap. Parawan Gap. Petroglyphs. Parawan Gap. Petroglyphs. This isn't on Parawan Gap, everybody. Somebody tried to destroy it. Look how they somebody took something to it and tried to destroy the eye. You can still see the eye. But they couldn't destroy the antennas. So this is new. Somebody actually damaged this. I took this picture 6 years ago. Somebody came and damaged this. Why? Because it showed the eyes. You still see the remnant of it. Of a being. Is it the great trickster? Inquiring minds want to know. But this right here, ancient petroglyphs, is evidence of something else. Yeah, the 2000 or 1995, the cookbook that came out, the tribes came together and met with the UN and said, yeah, we're aliens. Called star knowledge. You wonder why the church went relentlessly after massacring the native tribes. I think we found the reason. Starwalkers came here from another place. Once upon a time goes right along with Battlestar Galactica. The Mormon that wrote that knew a lot more than most people do. Yeah, why? Because of the plates that were in the mounds and talked about a people who traveled here illegally from another set of planets in the heavens. That's against God. No, it's not. No, it's not. Those that took the daughters of men as brides were damned to this earth forever, never to return. Other beings came here illegally, tricked here by the trickster. Maybe that's his wife. Maybe that one's got bigger eyes or its antennas are getting crossed. I didn't do this. They did this. I'm not the one that carved this in the rock. They did this 500 years ago, long before anybody and their opinions ever existed now. This is an ancient picture of an alien beings that came to this earth, and people go, no, they were right that, because I've never heard of a theology of anything like this, especially with a being that has an arm that long, but it does have hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You remember that? Right up on top of the ridge, see another band of natives on the prairie. You do this. Why would you do this? 5 fingers. Oh, yeah, there's 5 fingers. Let's go talk to them. Run. You can find that out for yourself, what that meant. When native tribes met at a distance, kind of goes back to Norsemen, too. You held up your hand like this so they could see all 5 fingers. Oh, Rick, how did you figure this out? 1, 2, 3, 4. And Jay doesn't know nothing. They're never going to know nothing. This is evidence of an ancient legend of the 5 fingers versus 4. 6 fingers versus 5. It started out with the 6-fingered beings, and now it's down to the 4-fingered beings. Why was the fingers such an important thing in the old ways, in the old days? Now we got the 4-fingered beings. The giants are the 6-fingered beings. At least these beings have an opposable thumb. Yeah, that's tweaked. There we go. The little Debbie, I just brought that up. They're going to stop. They're going to stop all this. They're going to stop all the production because of the welfare. You're exactly right. There's no more money. Do you realize the Ponzi scheme they were running on the poor for the rich? Little Debbie's, Coca-Cola, all the snack foods, junk foods, not purchasable by welfare EBT. Do you realize they've been lying about the number of EBT and food subsidies they've been giving out to the absolute 50% of the population? And now they cannot purchase junk food. You're going to see a rift in this country like never seen before. Why? Because it is fat. And what would the aliens be coming for? Gold, resources, and fat. Why? Because fat's what fuels. It's just your battery. What are your thoughts on the Raja Jackson psycho stew? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I have never understood I don't know what that is. Anything even like the Catholic shooting, the Christian shooting, the mass machete attack in Africa on Christians, all that stuff. I believe, my personal, not to be like Alex Jones, I do believe these are staged by gimps that have been grown in a lab. I think that this guy, the guy that tried to assassinate Trump, both the guys tried to assassinate Trump, and a lot of the other weirdo shooters, even Stephen Paddock, are weird. Maybe there's a possibility, because there's always a possibility they're hybrids. They've been genetically altered by maybe a foreign entity or by a alien being or by, well, like the Senate just got told there's aliens walking among us. So, I mean, it wouldn't be beyond that. But I think they were genetically manipulated. Absolutely. They're all gimps. They look like they came out of some kind of weird processing plant. You look at all these mass shooters, they all look very special. There's something serious. I actually, the shooter that killed my friend right next door, his stepson, he looked weird. There, he looked like a plastic cross between some creature and a human. And Mark, nope, you don't know. Mark, you don't know. And you have no idea what this is. This predates you. And I want to argue with you because you don't know what this is. You'll never see this. This 500-year-old, maybe 1,000-year-old drawing, I'd say, was chipped in the rock by an ancient people that were here. You'll never have that privilege except on this picture or see the alien ship above it. Now you have it. No, none of you are going to find this. It's a petroglyph. It's a picture from the past that they don't tell you about. Yeah, check it out. Yeah. There's your ship. It's got a ball at the top. Brings these guys down. Here's your alien beings with 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Okay. Kind of hip bone sticking out there too. Kind of like the one I seen, except it didn't have the bigger head. And see the eye here? Somebody came and chipped out that other eye. You can actually see the one eye. The trickster. It's a weird looking face here, and there's the arms. We don't know who drew it. Before it's broken, I haven't seen that. Wonder if these were giants first. Could be something to do with that. The giants are real. I don't think anybody. Ozzy just told you about Killer of Giants, and he just died. Killer of Giants, the nuclear war coming. Why isn't the Killer of Giants doing anything? So anyway, mass fatality, resilience, capability. Lot number 2 just came out. This happened on my birthday, August 18th. Awarded the contract. This means that the contract has been awarded to supplier. Contract summary. Mortuary equipment and supplies, 33970, so 33,970,000 people. No, it's not, I don't know what ISIL is. We're talking about 3i Atlas coming. Something's coming. Something's coming, and and it's going to hide behind the sun. So anyway, this is mortuary equipment and supplies. Location, any region. Value of the contract was 488,000 euros. I don't know what that's for. Published on my birthday. It just talks about the contract. They're getting ready for a mass casualty event. Again, they've been receiving alien communication in minutes now. I think it's down to minutes. See, radio waves. They were actually using different spectrums to find out that we've actually been bombarded with signals. It's every few minutes. From space. It's from space just being received. I just came across another story on radio waves that they've been receiving every few minutes. Not to mention the one that happens every 44 minutes. The year I was born, they sent up the first communication, and it was 74. So I'm just saying. And then they just did the mass casualty event on my birthday. Waves from Space 2025. We've already received contact. Significant discoveries were made regarding fast radio bursts, including the detection of the brightest ever FRB, nicknamed whatever, and the pinpointing of its source in nearby galaxy using the James Webb Telescope. Wonder if it's in the what's the name? Where's 3i Atlas from? It's from, I can't remember. Anyway, it's from the same system. Astronomers detected the brightest fast radio burst ever recorded coming from a nearby galaxy. They pinpointed it. So it says location of young massive stars, new repeating FRB source using a Meerkat telescope in South Africa. Scientists identified a new repeating FRB source that produces hundreds of short, sharp radio pulses in a matter of minutes. First contact. Well, when you send up a signal in 1974 and you get an answer, maybe you should get your mass casualty event people together, because Mumu went back to Pegasus, constellation Pegasus. And then this thing is coming at us speeding like a monster and has lights. They're going to say, it's just an asteroid. Not. No more Twinkies. Yeah, Hostess is in trouble. And Little Debbie's in trouble. All of your snack food companies are going to see a massive hit to their portfolios. Their profiteers, their CEOs, their shareholders are going to lose their butts. It's going to happen, everybody. I'm sorry, but they're trying. The rich are taking from the poor. That's what happens here. This is reverse Robin Hood. When the rich run out of ways to lie about insurances, to raise your property taxes, to trump up everything, and for all the BlackRock people come in to buy up all the apartments and houses as they're mass producing and opening the borders to bring in new schmucks to sway the symphony of destruction. When they can't get any more money out of you, what do? Take you to war. And Little Debbie's is just, all that is just, it's just a stopgap so they can take that money they were going to give to the poor, that they gave them some kind of relief through fattening death foods. Now they're going to take that money, move it into the other commodities market that the rich moved their money into prior to this, if there's insider trading, and their other stocks are going to go through the roof, because if they do hand out money again, it'll be in commodities that they've already invested in. The way they make their money is to crush one industry to move to the one that they bought for cheap. This is pump and dump Bitcoin that was never decentralized, by the way. You had a better chance of Hawk-Tuah coin becoming decentralized, you schmucks. No offense. Detective 52404.01 under the U.S. Department of Defense, Section 3.3, Entry D with a smile. Yeah. What am I doing to prepare for this? I'm praying. Praying. And I'm preaching the gospel. Because Christ isn't what they told you. Pretty nice, great, beautiful person. Unbelievable. Doesn't believe in the systems. Was always against it. Told us to do this and do that. And we went ahead and said, Paul. But Saul said this. Sorry, Flower, I'm being hard on Saul, and Karen, I'm being hard on Saul again. He was the enforcer. Q pass away. I don't know what that means. But your name does say Jesus, but it'd be Jesus in your language. Jesus. I'm very blurry, 45. Oh, crap. Wonder why I'm very blurry. Because I struck a chord there. I struck a chord. We'll just put it this where I took a picture of this today, too. The reason why I'm blurry might be because of that. Okay, they're trying to mess with something, and they don't want you to see this. Flower, if they can not allow the public to see this petroglyph with the hands, holding hands of two aliens, that would be better for them. Let's see, I mean, they may have genitalia. It doesn't look like they have any genitalia, which would be the future anyway, because your robots are going to take over anyway. I'm late here. What is going on? Kill loads of... Yeah, that's what's going on as they're talking about. Well, this is mainly Europe right now. So what's happening in Europe is they just did their... it's actually called... we just clicked on it a minute ago. It's like a mass casualty event 2 that just took place. It took place on August 18th on my birthday, by the way. Magic coincidence. In 74 when we set up all their signals like morons to space, and now they're getting answers back. Every few minutes or seconds, they're actually getting radio bursts from a young galaxy, and here comes 3i Atlas. So, are we going to see a nuclear war with Russia? You should have already had that. That should have already happened. There should have already been a nuclear annihilation on planet Earth. Makes no sense. If you're any kind of military strategist, Russia's surrounded, nuke them. Their doctrine says nuke us. We should have been nuked after coming out of the basement 5 years saying, oh, we want war. Literally, I mean, there's no reason why Russia would not launch every nuclear weapon right now at the West and call it good. Because the end is always going to be the same. They're going to get destroyed. It doesn't take a rocket science to feel, Russian aggression. This right here, these guys, they don't care about Russian aggression. Because that's a construct. Oh, thank you. It was just the other day. It was my birthday. Thank you. I'm old now. Older. I got the big 5-1 going on, everybody. Scientists have identified the origin of extraordinary, called extraterrestrial, this is 5 days ago in March 2025. The Earth was hit by fast radio bursts as energetic as the sun, but lasted only milliseconds. Do you think that they care? Yeah, I do. Because why? Because the Ponzi scheme falls down. We all fall down. Ashes, ashes. That means they do too. Right on. I'm 51. We do need a reset. And the only way to reset this is to burn it down. It's gone too far. The rich men are so rich they can't even stand. Their pockets are full. And the sorrows of George. It's George Soros, but the sorrows of George has already been in effect now for decades. The great sorrows that he brought about. His name isn't Smith, it's Soros. I'm telling you. Well, that's blockchain, fits right along with the Bitcoin scam of decentralized services and Soshis. Your girlfriend's 19, you're dating a child. Its brain isn't developed yet. It takes mid-20s for a woman's brain to be fully developed. Dating a child is not right. Where are we? Unless you're reproducing. Now, if you're doing it for procreation, it's okay. But your blockchain was a lie, always will be, and it was developed by the CIA. Because it never did what it's supposed to do now, did it? Made the rich man even richer. You got a better chance there, blockchain, with Haktua coin. It was all DARPA. Yeah, pole shift is overdue. Yeah, the great extinction event. We made first contact. We got a message back, and we get it every 44 minutes and every 50 minutes and every nanosecond. We're already receiving communication from the aliens. Your leaders are lying to you, or just not telling you directly. They're admitting it in Congress, and the Senate saying, oh, yeah. Senator Kennedy says, lock your doors. Senator Kennedy said, lock your doors tonight, folks. That was 2 years ago. We wanted a response from space. We thought it was going to be good. It's kind of like the American Indian going, hey, you white guys, especially you Spaniards, 12th century caliphate survivors, why don't you guys come over here and spread us some of that fake Christianity? Christ was never like the caliphate or like the churches back in the 1600s. Christ was against it. Why don't you guys come over here and show us some cool stuff? And the white guys go, where's your gold and slaves? We're coming for your gold and slaves. We're going to slaughter you. So you got old Billy over there, putting up the smoke signals to the white men coming on these great big ships. They're going, oh, they're going to come in peace. Yeah, when they land on our shores, they look like the Yeshua guy that came here, 2,000 years ago. Factual. They liked him. They're like, oh, the white men, you guys look like that white God that came here. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's promised us salvation. And the Spanish conquistadors go out. I claim this in the name of Spain. Conquistadors get their gold, slaughter their men, rape their women, slaughter them, bathe the ground red in their blood, enslave them to get the yellow stone that makes us crazy. think you'd want to beat old Billy up over there, the guy that was putting the smoke signals up trying to get the white man to come here? You idiot. They came for everything that we didn't even care about, but they killed us all for it. That's the same idiot that said, oh, let's send up a signal to the stars and see if somebody says something back. They're going to come in peace. The blueprint of life in the heavens and on the earth are the same, by the way, everybody. It's the same thing. It's God's blueprint. It's his matrix. They're going to come and they're going to harvest humanity. It's what they're going to do. They're going to take our gold, our resources on purpose if they have a use for it. It could be, titanium might be the thing on their planets that's lacking, and they might come here to harvest humanity. Burn the wicked. Bundle and burn all the wicked. That's what they'd come back for, is to burn you if you're wicked. Was it a good idea? Is anybody that survives this, are they going to look in? Gold is a scam. Gold isn't a scam. Gold is true. Gold is real. Bitcoin's a scam. Bitcoin is a scam. The U.S. fiat currency made by the monsters at Jekyll Island, the banksters, the Rothschilds, and all the other banksters that made the Federal Reserve, that is a scam. Gold is not the scam. Gold is the truth. Gold is from the heavens. Bitcoin's a scam. It's not decentralized. It's not going to fix anything. Never was. There's nothing backing Bitcoin that's even tangible. It's fake. It's a lie. You even make a coin called gold because it's a lie. How about the Trump coin? It's a lie. It's a gambler's nest of lies and betting. Nothing to do with true value. Gold is real. Gold's always been real. Gold's in all your electronics. Why? Because it's valuable. Kind of like the essential workers versus a non-essential worker. We found out during the pandemic, non-essential workers have zero intrinsic value to any economy. It's a lie. And the only essential workers is what is real. You find out what real and what isn't real when things fall apart. Bitcoin is a digit. You can't trade it on hand to hand. It's fake. When your society is destroyed by in a nanosecond, you're not going to be trading Bitcoin. It's decentralized. It's not decentralized Sochi guy that never existed. Hey, you CIA guys, kind of like QAnon, ain't you? Bitcoin was the answer. Couldn't steal enough on the stock market, so they developed a fake, false lie called a coin. Call it, and they said a Sochi. We have high confidence. Look, the guy's going to speak. He's going to say, yes, they got a nod. The guy behind the nod's like, nod. And people are like, the coin's going up, the value's going up, everybody it's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. It's gonna sky. Oh yeah, it's coming. Get it to that coin is going to the moon. To what moon? And then they just steal all your money and crash it all down. They take everybody's money and they go, Tua, much. Never been a bigger lie for a monetary system as there been Bitcoin. The only thing that's a cool second that's dominated the world is called the U.S. fiat currency made by a bunch of banksters that you have to borrow our own money from the banksters that lend us some money called the Federal Reserve. Almost as bad as Bitcoin, but Bitcoin doesn't exist. It's a lie. It's a scam. It's even worse. There's at least they can still make everything but the pennies for the U.S. dollar, and the change isn't even worth the metal it's printed on. That's why it's not even metal anymore. Yeah, Bitcoin's a scam. It's a lie. It's all a lie. Anybody says anything different, you're a maroon. It doesn't exist. You can't tangibly have Bitcoin. Oh yeah, they gave us this coin they made. Yeah, it's got gold on it. Mining Bitcoin. Mining a fictitious coin using electricity and energy to mine a fake thing that doesn't exist. Using electricity when there's people that we're paying high priced electricity. People need energy. You're polluting the world to chase a fake coin that was not decentralized. What needs to happen is fraud charges need to be brought against all of the guys that don't exist, called the Soshis, that made Bitcoin. Fraud. Fraud. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's always been a lie. It doesn't exist. It was made up. It was thought up in someone's brain or some secret intelligence agency to take the heat off the USD. They didn't want you going to gold. Why? Because the major countries are buying all the gold. Why? Because it's limited. It's real. Gold's been valuable since the beginning of time. Now, Bitcoin, the great distraction. How do you keep gold low so China can buy tons of it at a time? Bitcoin. How do you keep it so the Federal Reserve can steal the money out of the Fort Knox and everything else, the gold, and then hoard all the gold? How do you take the tension off that? A Bitcoin. A Trump coin. A Tron coin. A coin that has nothing. We need to see the white papers. The white papers. You mean this white paper? This is my coin. Look, there's the white papers. Oh, see them over here? Yeah, this is the white papers for the coin. Yeah, it's over here. What's that? What's that coin called? Gold. It's called gold. It's backed by gold. Yeah. You back a coin by gold, you'll get Muammar Gaddafi. Why did they shove a knife up his wazoo? Because he made the African dinar. It's time for facts, right? So they came out with an African dinar that was actually made of gold. What did Hillary Clinton do to Muammar Gaddafi? We came, we saw, he died. Why? Because it's gold. What is BRICS backing their currency with? Gold. Why? Why would the Richies let you guys? What happened World War II? They shut down all the gold mines. Why? All gold was owned by the government. Why? Because gold is gold, always will be gold. Yeah, they're stealing the energy. Why are they stealing the energy for mining Bitcoin? Because the time of the Cylons, the war between man and machines are here. They're building these gigantic mining farms, sucking the energy of the earth. They're harvesting the energy of the earth for something that's fake. But now they're building gigantic tech electrical facilities here in Utah. Why? The robots are coming. And the robots can tell you the same thing about Bitcoin. What the hell is that? That has no value. It doesn't exist. It's in your head. Yeah, the lies, the startup tokens, all this stuff. And what is a startup token? Hawk-Tua? What other kind of dumbass idea can you guys come up with? The Shim Shammy Flimmy coin? That's already probably there. What other kind of dumbass monetary system that's non-decentralized can the betters and all the crooks come up with? What kind of dumbass fake lie coin with a bunch of liars that say, to the moon? What are they going to come up with? All that stuff is bullshit. It's always been bullshit. There's no value to it. There never will be a value to it. All this is a scam to keep you away from gold. They want, like Dave Ramsey, gold's just a rock. There's been millions, if not billions, slaughtered over just a rock. Yellowstone. They slaughtered entire populations for gold. They wiped the Americas out for gold. Why? Because gold is real. Bitcoin's fake. They're keeping your attention away from the truth. They're keeping your attention away from the gold. They don't want you buying gold. Why? Because it's their gold. It's not yours. Just like the governments did in the 40s. They took all the gold. They couldn't even mine gold. I gotta go. It would be a good idea to leave the cities. Yeah. But these guys are out there, outside, and they don't like you. I'm just telling you, they don't like you. I mean, they might love you, but in a different way. They're here to harvest the idiocracy world known as 2025. And somebody knows about a massive event coming, because they would be digging their bunkers now, would they? And what's those bunkers full of? Gold. They said, oh, we can travel with Bitcoin and convert that to gold. When shit hits the fan, you got a piece of paper there, and they're going to look at you and say, I think I'm going to make you bleed and take whatever fat you have, because fat is valuable. I can at least burn a candle all night in your cellulite and have light. Because that Bitcoin ain't going to light anything. It's not going to be traded when the lights go out. Believe me, AI can shut down all the power grids in a nanosecond. They can darken this world. Imagine fighting a virus that's in every power grid on the entire planet, where anything that gets turned on gets immediately hacked. That's AI. That's the threat of AI. That's not these guys. These guys are worse. Anything digital that's going to be that you're relying on is gone. That could be as simple as a solar flare, knock all you guys back into the 12th century. You gotta start getting on the good foot, doing the right thing. You young people got suckered into this crap. Hey, Bitcoin might have made you Bitcoin millionaires. But in the end, there's too many people. They're going to eat you alive when the lights go out. They're going to have you on a barbecue spit. They're going to have a giant rotisserie you in your cities. You don't have enough bullets. You don't have enough bullets to protect yourself when the lights go out. This will be Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Escape from New York if the Russians launch nukes and block in this entire country. They will be eating each other. You realize that. 8+ billion people will be consuming each other if these guys don't consume you at the same time. There's not enough food readily available for the populations. There's not enough fresh water ready available for the populations. There's not enough love and unity amongst ourselves anymore. We're not going to unify as a neighborhood with neighbors that love each other. Within a day to 2 days or a week, every major city will become a cannibal fest. Once the dogs and cats are eaten, everybody loves Floofy, they'll be first on the list. Secondly, will be the cats. And thirdly, it'll be you. And they know this. The government ran all kinds of scenarios on a extinction level event. How long will it take these people to eat each other alive? They have a whole think tank. They probably ran it through their AI intelligence, saying that mankind will eat itself. And within a year, we won't even have to worry about cleaning up the bodies because the bones will be picked. There'll be not even enough for a coyote left on any carcass in this country. You shut it down, you'll have the redneck survivors, what's left of them, live in the middle of nowhere. So be it. So be it. But if it's a weapon that makes you go into massive convulsions where your neck snaps, it ain't going to matter where you're at unless you're underground. Like what happened to the ancient Aztecs. And these guys may have done it. This might have been Fremont, that the people that were wiped out by the Aztecian people. They may have been dealing with these aliens. This might be as old, not where they destroyed this eye. There's the one I left. The Fremont people were fighting the Aztec people. The Fremont people disappeared. The Aztec dialect speakers, the Paiute, the Utes, Goshutes, Comanches, Shoshones survived, but these other people were here before them. They were the ones talking to the Watchers. The Aztecs came, grew big, conquered Utah, Nevada, Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming. And then here comes the ship that made them, that may have used a weapon on the entire Aztec Empire. Would they do the same now? Yeah. I do. Okay. Anyway, too much LSD. How come blockchain you'd start talking about that? Yeah, I'll just get the too much LSD. I'm sorry, bro. Well, blockchain, you get out of here. Don't come back. You're out of here. Don't need you. You blockchain people are just Sochi lovers, and who cares? Never seen a group so brainwashed in my entire life. They came out of their basement, 5 years of a pandemic, locked up, friends in, snitching on their people, two people together, wearing 5 masks, getting double, triple. And then they get on here and talk about blockchain. Hitler was nothing. Hitler was stupid. This is what everybody thinks. You guys think Hitler's bad. You had Azov battalion Nazis in Ukraine. Come on. Hitler was, if you listen to Mein Kampf and all this other stuff, it's no different. It's the same repeated stuff going on. They just gave him syphilis and he became a monster he is. But Hitler didn't kill nearly as much as the rich men have killed since the time of King George. There's more mass slaughters in Europe and Asia and Russia and Africa. Hitler was not the biggest killer. Joseph Stalin was way worse than Hitler. That Hitler couldn't even hold a candle to Joseph Stalin. Stalin killed so many people you can't even count them. He killed his own people. They did make Hitler a bad guy because they needed the bad guy, but they all do it. Remember Dresden, what we did to the Germans? They were Christians. They weren't a part of the war. Look up Dresden. That was the Brits and the Americans deciding to burn them. What about Hiroshima? Nagasaki dropping it on Christians in Japan. They didn't need to use the bomb. History was already predicted. Hitler's nothing compared to these monsters. They've killed more in the past 50 years just through their policies than they ever did. Hitler ever did. Yeah. Well, you're talking about Netanyahu. Genocide, nobody cares, guys. Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, she's going to do what she needs to do. What about Gaza? The world's witnessing what they're witnessing, and you know as well as I do what's happening. Say anything, you'll get arrested in England, though. Do you even stand up for the deaths and destruction of women and children? And you will be arrested. Judgment. What do we know about judgment? What do we deserve for allowing this? We came out of a pandemic where they rewrote the world and brainwashed this generation. They don't even know what bathroom we go to. We have these weird people running around look like they just came off some assembly line shooting up Christian churches. They don't even look real. They all have a similarity that's amazing. Who are they and what did they do to them? That's my son. How do you know? Do you have a DNA test to prove it right now? Because the person that you have that you thought you raised may not be the person you thought you raised now, is it? He changed completely. I wonder why. Oh, what tangled webs we weave for genocide. Especially an approved one. I know this might be upsetting to YouTube. There's a genocide going on in Ukraine. They're wiping out Russians left and right by the millions and Ukrainians. Nobody cares. Never been a more bloodthirsty group of individuals that graced this place until now. Except for World War II, World War I, in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya. They've killed so many people. Slaughter women and children. Bombs kill 80% women and children all the time and nobody cares. How about the guy that had water bring it to his family in Afghanistan and they dropped a bomb right on his head? They're just Afghanis, right? We've been killing them since the Soviet wars. Since the days of the Crusades, we've been killing those Afghanis. They deserve it, right? I like the one with bin Laden. That was a pretty interesting shake from Saudi Arabia, family guy in Afghanistan. That was a good move. I mean, if I was to put together a Mujahideen liar and make this Osama bin Laden, that's what I would do, use a psyop like that. Hey, I'm out of here, guys. Got to get to work. Those of you that are faithful, keep following the faith. Keep doing what we're doing. Keep following the Lord. The Lord loves you. He doesn't care. He does. Forgive yourself for all your sins. Ask for forgiveness. Well, forgive others for all the things they did against you. Forgive all the debts as your debts are forgiven by the Father. You got to forgive everybody for everything they've done. Just forgive them all. Say, enough's enough. Forgive. Okay? Let it go. And then forgive yourselves. Go to the Father. Ask for forgiveness. Pray. Know what you did. Go back through your neural processor. Remember the things you did, and repent for them. Repent for all those sins. Get them off of you. Get them away from you. Get baptized in water. John the Baptist wore a camel fur coat. Just do it. My Uncle Henry is actually the guy that put the man to death in Utah in their firing squad. Was my Uncle Henry, Utah State Prison. And the guy that developed the Nike, just do it, did it because what the prisoner said before my uncle had him shot. Just do it, he said. All of your Nikes, the brand, just do it, came from a man that murdered children, slaughtered them. And my uncle had him shot. And his last words were, just do it. What a society. A lot of coincidences here. Anyway, there is no thinking of Palestine and Israel. Nothing more grotesque than meeting of a child's head in a bullet. Anybody doing that, what thoughts are there? Judgment is the Lord's, not mine. But anytime a child is injured, hurt, even with the new sanctions here in America on the poor, judgment. It's coming. Rest assured. And repent. Because all those, you wicked bastards, you're getting what you're going to deserve. You're going to get it. Not me. It's coming. Vengeance is the Lord's. Trust me. Those that have done wrong, I've witnessed it over and over again. Nice red heifers there. Netanyahu. Should we go to Yahoo News? Cowboy country, maybe Yahoo. You had one job there. What was your Polish name again? Man, you screwed up. What about Rabbi Schmear say to you there? Or do you have the ashes and you're lying about it? You're going to clean your stuff with the ashes of the red heifer. Let's get that temple built, shall we? Get it going, Netanyahu. You're 8,000 years old. Old. Way old. Like beyond old. We're literally going to have to petrify you, Netanyahu, in order to keep you doing the stupid crap you do. And don't you guys be blaming the Jews neither. Those people are protesting. Oh no, don't you be blaming the Jews for this crap. No. The Orthodox Jews are refusing this stuff because they're the Jew. This is factual. And all you guys that want to go say God is great and cut their heads off, those Orthodox Jews want nothing to do with this. You remember that. It's not the Jew. It's Netanyahu, Polish guy. Yeah. I've got a home in glory land that outshines the sun. Well, yeah, I'm glad you do. That's a good one. Well, it's not even the Ashkenazis. Ashkenazis are actually descended. They have Jewish DNA. It's not reportable because it's so far back. But you see the Jews, they're Polish Jews, they're Russian Jews, Czechoslovakian Jew. I'm a Czechoslovakian Jew. I'm not going to sit there and stand for a people that massacres people. And it's not going to happen. I know. How about no? And neither are the Jews protesting in the streets. It's not the Jew that's to blame for this. It's Netanyahu and his monsters, Likuds. Going and killing the Jew isn't going to be doing anything but bringing about the total destruction of the world and the kingdom, so you guys can do what you do. It's all written already. But as far as going and blaming the Jew or the Palestinian, you can't blame the Palestinians on a whole for what their idiot Jewish-sponsored, American-sponsored, whoever sponsored this terrorist group that lived in a reservation with 4 walls. They got all those odds that they bring in weapons. You ain't farting across that border without somebody knowing about it. Those guys were locked on an open air reservation. Yeah, they were. And everybody's screaming about 8,000 years ago this was Judea. I'd say, well, 150 years ago this was Indian land. Yeah. Kind of, the round peg square hole stuff goes on here. Killing is going to be the end of all of us. Yeah. Um, you think that next month, September, is going to have a disaster? I do. I do think that the disaster's already here. I think that what's happening behind the scenes is what nobody's seeing. I think it's way worse than they're telling you. I think that everything's out of control. The financial system's out of control. 50 plus percent of the U.S. population is in abject poverty. They brought in 20 to 50 million immigrants to replace that to keep their Ponzi scheme going. They're going to war against Europe, sucking the life out of Europe on purpose. They're harvesting the fat of the world going down to Venezuela, circling them because Venezuela has all the gold, has oil, and that's what they did in the beginning. And it was the great messiah of the idiocracy, Obama, Barack Hussein, not to be confused with Saddam Hussein, by the way. Magically how the names work. And now they're going to go after Venezuela just like they do. This is what they do. They're propping up the system. It's all a lie. Just like the Bitcoin freaks that are here. It's just a lie. You're living a lie. Your life is a lie. It's already happening. World War III's been in full swing. Full swing. The end of World War III is when the Russians pushed the damn nuclear button, which they should have already done. God help us. Yeah, the government's nothing to do with Israel. Netanyahu was facing charges. I didn't see Daniel what he said. I don't see what Daniel's saying. Anyway, got to go. Thanks, Flower. Looks like the cookbook showed up too. Hope Karen was here. Hope Carol was here. Bear in mind, Jesus, a Jew, had a younger brother and sister. Any Jew is a niece or nephew. Kill a Jew, piss off Jesus, not smart. Well, but like Jesus said, he said, look at these people, these are not Jews. Christ's words. These people think they're Jews, but they're not Jews. That's Christ. That's a follower of Christ. Anybody believing in Yeshua, following Yeshua, knows these words. Also, your mother Mary's right there, and your brothers and your sisters. You're just Jesus of Nazareth. He says, this is my brother, this is my sister, and this is my mother. He didn't say nothing about Mary now, did he? Full of grace. I remember things much differently. Christ said this, not Paul or Peter. Yeah. Yeah, he looked and said, you are not Jews. These people think they're Jews and all their fine gowns and all that stupid stuff they wore, and they're preaching in the marketplaces. Oh, yes, let's pray together. Oh, man, let's do this together. Everybody down on their knees. We're going to pray together. And Christ said, go in the quiet place and pray to the secret place to my Father. Oh, we got to go pray in masses and let everybody watch me pray. Everybody watch me. Oh, I'm the one. And Christ's like, no, I got to go walk over here and talk to my Father. See you guys in a minute. I'll be back. Apostles are like, bing, bing, bing. And he's like, Father, these guys are idiots. What do I do? Speak in parables to them. Okay. The wedding, everybody. Yeah, the wedding, he said. He tried to give them parables. And people still to this day believe that those people who were in Judea were Jews. There was Jews in Judea, but it wasn't the ones who claiming to be Jews. Christ said it himself. You can't be a Christian. You can be Jewish. You can go Jewish yourself out and have all kinds of stuff. That'd be a lawyer if you like. But a Christian, there ain't a living Christian lawyer. Not then and not now. Not in all the generations. There's never been a Christian lawyer. But thou shalt not judge, you jackasses. But we protect the innocent and you incarcerate the innocent. Well, we do our best to make sure that we make our money. Judgment is mine, not yours, judges. And a Christian judge, that's the ultimate hypocrisy. A Christian judge. Who thought of that? Oh, the Romans that told you to swear an oath. Oh, the Jews told you to swear an oath on a Bible too, which is against Christ. Swearing an oath on anything here is a sin. He was commanded by the Lord not to swear an oath on anything here. This is God's footstool. So if he says, I'm a Christian and I took an oath. The first part was wrong, Christian. And the second part, oath, is against Christ. Oh, no, he meant it differently. Wow. Just wow. I thought swearing an oath on the Bible was Christian, of Christ, and it wasn't. It's of Judea. The same Judea, the same Romans that ruled the place back then, and Judea make us swear an oath on a Bible. No. How about calling fathers fathers? They're not fathers. Christ, don't call anybody father here. You're beloved. Don't call father anybody father except for the Father in heaven, and you're all equal. But we can't do that because get behind me, Mary. This is my sister, this is my brother, and this is my mother. I think it couldn't be in any other plain Hebrew, English, or Aramaic, Latin, to anybody out there. This is my sister, this is my brother, this is my mother. But no, your mother's standing behind you. This is my mother, sister, brother. How do we get it so wrong? Oh, the Pharisees, the scribes, the tax collectors, the Romans, Caesar. Nice job, Paul. Saul, the enforcer. Why did they start cutting their hair? Because of Saul. Saul did that. Saul said, long hairs of the wilderness and a beard. Saul, you did that, Saul. It wasn't of Christ to tell the Christians to cut their hair or not grow their beard. Saul was the one that wanted the hair cut and the beard cut because he's looking at the Roman emperors and he was saying, hey, if I say this to them, maybe, just maybe, they won't crucify me. Just Saul did. Saul did that out of desperation. Just like Christ said, give God what's God's and Caesar what's Caesar's. It was because he had to be sacrificed. He was just completing the task. That's why when that bastard Pilate did what he did, he said, yes, give God what's God's, Caesar's Caesar's. Well, Mary was not, I haven't looked up Mary. Mary, she did what she did. She was his mother, but she wasn't his biological mother. He was implanted into Mary. I think it was the Holy Spirit did that, but it wasn't. Mary was never divine or full of grace. Mary was the mother chosen, and his stepdad was a complete frickin' moron. I mean, absolute. Joseph did the best he could do, I guess, with the limited cognitive resources that man had, but Joseph wasn't. Joseph was just his stepdad. Okay? You got to get that through your heads. Joseph and Mary was a vessel. Okay? You can't put Mary as a way to Christ. Christ is right with you. Christ is ready to take your hand as soon as you reach for him. He's not what you think. Okay? He doesn't care. He loves you. He'll always love you, even if he looks at you and says, I don't know you. It's 3:33. 33. He always has. But those of you that are with the devil, you're with the devil. Christ says, I am with you, you're with me. Two or more you're gathered. The Holy Spirit and I'm with you. That's how simple it is. But they make it so complex because Christian values is to war against your enemy in the name of God. And it has nothing to do with Christ. Nothing to do with the Lord. I gotta go. Thanks for watching. I am way